Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're very pleased to welcome Matthew Radbourne of Myriad Global Media today. He's kindly agreed to deliver this session, and we will shortly hand over to him to deliver the session today. But before I hand you over, I just wanted to mention a few things. So firstly, for those of you who haven't attended one of our IOSH webinars, I am Dimple Chauhan, and I take care of the technical aspects of these sessions. Any problems, and I shall try to assist as best I can. On your screen, most likely located at the top left-hand side, you will notice a small bar with some written options on them, which are chat and Q&A. If you have any technical issues or audio problems and need to message me at any point, please use the chat option. If you have any specific questions for Matthew relating to the content of the session, please use the Q&A option and ask your questions here. I'll run through all of these with Matthew after the presentation has finished, and we will aim to tackle as many of these as possible. If we do run out of time and there are still questions remaining, we'll look at these after the webinar. Please also note that this webinar will be recorded and will be uploaded and available to view on our YouTube channel later. And we'll be sending out the link to the address you have said. I shall now hand you over to Matthew and hope you all enjoy the session. So Matthew, please feel free to take the screen.
Thank you very much, Dimple. Thank you. I will now share my screen. So hopefully everyone can now see that. So a little introduction. My name is Matthew Radbourne. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager here at Myriad. We are a communications business. We've been working with IOSH most recently in the UAE. Our team holds annual safety days. The UAE has got a big focus on health and safety at the moment, so IOSH were very kindly confirmed as a supporting organisation, and it was last week, and the day was a huge success. So continued to work with us, and hopefully I can add a little bit of insight into the social media aspects of the business. As I said, we are an award-winning communications agency. Our main aim is to create innovative ways to help companies tell their story, share their vision, connect with their customers, or in this sense, connect with their employees, and ultimately grow their business. Our scope and longevity links us to some of the world's largest industries: oil and gas, construction, engineering, aviation, government, and we produce powerful and compelling media that informs, delights, and hopefully inspires. We always aim to use state-of-the-art technology and a dedication to excellence and innovation. Our global team is ready to design, create, and deliver projects to maximum effect. So whatever the needs and whatever the message, we are aiming to achieve maximum effect. Our support covers a huge range of topics: project communications, investors relations, CSR, but the topic that stays consistent and extremely important for all our clients year on year is health and safety, and how we can improve the culture and keep the workplace safe. We must constantly push and develop our business in an ever-changing industry to hopefully enhance and grow with the demands of creative design, engaging content, and dynamic delivery. In my experience, the most effective health and safety cultures use new and exciting techniques year on year. We really can't stand still. One of the key things for us, and I know today we're focusing on social media and how it can be used to help improve culture and be used as a tool for success. We must remember some of the fundamentals. As a business here, we're always looking to apply a strategic approach. All our projects follow the same approach. We identify the key audiences, focus on business objectives, and deliver innovative and creative communication solutions. With strategic planning, a holistic design approach, we can capture the most important data that delivers against key business objectives internally and externally. All media outputs we create our clients throughout the year cost thousands and thousands of pounds. We must maximize its reach so that the audience is engaged, and social media is a fantastic platform to do that. As technology has evolved over the years, our clients rely on us to have confidence in our ability to deliver on message, on time, and on budget. It's vital that we stay at the forefront of all new technology. We use virtual reality, augmented reality, mobile apps, and then the bread and butter channels such as film production, 2D animation, 3D animation, graphic design, podcasts. But everything can be shared on social media, so it's such a vital platform that we're discussing today. Its culture and evolution has infused our lives over the last decade, to the point where not having a presence is almost like having no presence at all. Social media has created a huge opportunity for businesses to grab the audience's attention, building on brand image that can influence an entire workforce. The 21st century has meant that all employees have access to the information via mobile devices, wherever they are. This enables businesses to control the information they receive, almost like an internal news source, hopefully adding a positive spin, unlike the real news. Social media, there's actually over 100 channels of social media networks out there, and around 64% of businesses will use probably 2 to 5 different platforms to suit them. Social media is a proven way for companies to communicate and engage with their audience, but successful social media marketing for corporate communications is also very demanding. Companies have to produce consistent streams of valuable content and consistently interact with the community on their social channels. Content is key. Major media content can vary in length, but social media content must be short and captivating, pull the audience in. Think back to MSN Messenger and email. It was all very text heavy. Social media, Mr. Zuckerberg came up and invented Facebook. Then we got lazier, more addicted to information. So Instagram came out and removed all the text, just pictures and videos. And now Snapchat's looking at videos only. Employees want companies to have the same output and exposure as people. All the famous celebrities out there. Companies need to make themselves more popular and more attractive places to work at. So social channels as exist at the moment, these are the top 4. Hopefully everyone recognizes the 4 logos on the screen: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. For me, they're the most kind of successful for businesses. Facebook is the number 1 social network, 2.32 billion active monthly users. LinkedIn, very professional business to business, but also a way of engaging with your employees. 500 million users, 70 million companies are on LinkedIn now, and that's only going to grow faster and faster. Twitter, 320 million users, 500 million tweets a day. It's live, quick information into the hands of our employees. 80% of that's coming via mobile. YouTube, it's the world's leading sharing network. It enables you to upload, share, view videos, and billions of videos are viewed daily. Next 4, probably not quite so familiar to all of you. WhatsApp, we've got Instagram, we've got Snapchat, and the one at the end is one that not many of you will probably recognize, and I'll be keen to see who does in the questions and answers at the end, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But Instagram, very much photo and video sharing. WhatsApp is instant messaging, and this is now synced to Facebook. Facebook bought WhatsApp, as they have done with everyone else, and now enables you to reach mobile workforces very quickly and share information with them. And then Snapchat is obviously something where we are sharing what we're doing with each other live, so that no one ever forgets what we are and what we're doing. Global connectivity. So social media nowadays has gone, viral, to use the right terminology, with 7.59 billion of us in population at the moment. Just over 4 billion users on the internet. and that's 3.19 billion social media users. So we've got a 42% engagement rate across the world. But what we do have to remember, that not all countries, and I'm sure there'll be a few of you, if not all of you listening today, who work at companies that are global. We must remember that not all of us are in as a developed world or country as others. So we must still remember that 42% engagement rate does not always apply to the countries that we're operating in. So a lot of our clients are challenging us all the time to make sure that we use social media to its effects. One of the fantastic places we've just started working is Mozambique. Mozambique is a fantastic country. It's going to be growing rapidly in the next sort of 10, 15, 20 years. It's just been told that it's sat on the biggest pocket of liquid nitrified gas in the world. So it's going to be someone that's going to have a wealth thrown at it. But that's not to say that it's not a connected place. It's only a 5% engagement rate. So when we're looking at communications in that country, we don't have the fantastic connections that we do over here. So there's only 1.4 million social media users out of a population of 29 million. So we have to really think about how we use it. Africa is a rapid growth in its use of connected devices. It's a growing digital economy, but it comes down to a mobile revolution. In this case, it was WhatsApp and Facebook. Studies indicated that only 1 in 1,000 people in Mozambique actually had access to a newspaper. So we really had to try and challenge ourselves to use Facebook and WhatsApp to communicate to the people. That's health and safety, local content, new jobs. We were teaching people how to create bank accounts for the first time. So we had to do that via WhatsApp and Facebook. So they are great channels in some of the most challenging areas of the world. So content strategy, this is what it kind of comes down to, a lot of thinking. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is make sure we bring everyone back to the main source of information, and that's probably a website or an LMS, an employees notifications. So the way we do it here at Myriad, and the way that you definitely need to think about is what we call the breadcrumb approach. All content posted across social media channels must leave the audience wanting to find out more, with clever navigation to a higher level page that documents all the information further. To be successful, you must be consistent, provide useful and helpful information, and always have engaging content. What's going on in your world and what's useful information are you supplying your audience. This content must be relevant to the target audience and leave them wanting more. One of the core key rules for content strategy is the 4-1-1 rule. Post 4 pieces of content that's original to you as a business. So this could be on topics that we discuss later. Share one thing from other people's businesses or organizations, institutes. Share IOSH's information. It's a fantastic source of information for businesses. And also have one piece of content that's a bit more salesy, I suppose, but you're trying to make sure your employees pick up this information. And then earn your keep with the first 2 and get away with the last one. Typically users scroll through information very quickly. They'll flip through it, scroll down, and then they'll stop when they see something that's engaging. That's what your information has to be. Your information has to be that one piece of information that they think, wow, I want to read that, I want to view it, I want to watch it. So we must look for information that is eye-catching. This is certainly one of them that we did with clients. This was for Maersk Oil. We did a big graphical print campaign for them that we shared all over social media. These pieces of information kind of make you chuckle. They also kind of make you look twice, but they also make you stop, click on it and follow the breadcrumbs to the larger piece of information that will be on their website. So for today, we're looking at internal audiences. How do we target them? And what content can we post on our social media around health and safety to make sure that we give a positive spin on it? It's vital that we make sure that all the content that we post on our any platform is positive. You must avoid the negativity, otherwise you're going to make it difficult for you to get out of it. These are some of the key topics we do day in, day out for our clients. Crisis management, it's a huge topic for everyone. What happens if it goes wrong? Oil and gas companies have emergency procedures in place. If something does go wrong, then the front line is social media. It allows live details to be shared to everyone very, very quickly to keep you up to date. Think about the rail. I live in London. Traveling in and out every day is a nightmare, and Twitter is the forefront for all of this information being shared with the people, making sure that we get home safely in the snow, making sure that information is given to us quickly and efficiently. This is what we should be doing for our employees just as well as our customers. We want to try and keep them safe, keep them updated, so they have one source of information for things that matter to their health, and also shows that your organization cares about them, and this is fundamental to their longevity as a career. Another one is health and safety success. Encourage employees to change the way they think. Improve safety culture becomes a lot simpler when the more people act. To build the necessary momentum, shouting about success is more acceptable and believable by doing it as a large group. Lots of our clients tell us that employees don't report issues or risks due to not wanting to be the minority. If companies shout about being X amount of days incident free, or thank people for helping, the minority is actually perceived the other way around. If you don't report the issues, you're the one in the wrong. So social media can be a platform to change the way people think, see the success that's happening within their business. Content types, you can post anything on social media. Some platforms are more successful for certain types of content than others. If it's video, then YouTube. If it's pictures, it might be Instagram or Facebook. But we do all of these types of things at any one time for our clients across social media. So video case studies, animated videos explaining different topics, print items, as I showed you earlier with Maersk. We even promote new AR, VR experiences, and then look at how employees can use phone and tablets to download new mobile software or QR codes to receive instant information. And on the right here, I'm actually going to show you a little clip from a company called ENI. We work with them all over the world. They're a really big energy company. And this was a simple 2D animation about how they want their employees to be constantly vigilant. They always want them to be thinking about what they're doing. We did a big 2 or 3, I think it was 2 to 3 minutes, the 2D animation was in total. And yeah, we wanted to make it into a 30-second clip for social media.
The safety and health of any UK's people, the community, and our partners is our priority. Promoting safety requires the use of measures and actions that allow us to develop behaviours that are healthy and safe. This applies to both working environments and life in general. Apply the any golden rules. Retain your sense of unease and remain constantly vigilant.
So yeah, that was the 30-second clip that we put across social media to grab employees' attention, but also the wider audiences about how ENI were really pushing to change the way they do things. Further sort of good examples, Lanes Group are a client that we work with a lot. Lanes Group are they work solely for Thames Water here in the UK, in the southeast, sorry. And mental health is such an important topic that's at the forefront of global conversations. It must not be ignored by organisations, especially if the demographic of the workforce that you have within your business matches the criteria. So by showing employees how to get in touch, support groups that are out there, colleagues that have got in touch and shared their story, all of this positive press and positive posting means that people will stand up and, you know, it's okay not to be okay. Another one, again, around sort of the health and mental health, is the Happy app. So they are using social media to share how employees need to make sure that when they come to work, they always tell people how they feel. You know, log in, tell us how you feel at the start of your day, tell us how you feel at the end of your day. If there's any issues, in-house mental health, people will also get in touch with you and make sure that you feel okay. Other good examples, again, Lanes Group, I'll use them. We do a lot of work with them. Is not just mental health that's important, it's also educating employees about important NHS topics that are at the forefront of public discussions, improving their image, cervical screening, for example, one that's kind of in the press a lot, and then one that's a little bit more in the enjoyment side, you know, coming back in January, dry January. What are the positives and negatives of doing it? Everyone thinks it's great, but actually it could have something that's not quite as positive. So just making sure their employees know everything they need to know about things that are happening in the real world to be seen as someone that cares. This is a different way. They're very serious topics. This is something that is a little bit different. We worked with Maersk Oil on large site inductions on various projects around the world. Most of them are 8 minutes in length, so far too long to post on social media. Again, social media content has to be short and sharp. This was something that one of our editors found. It's a bloopers reel. This was something that we wanted to play lightheartedly for people to be seen. So it's generating a bit of fun around the safety ideas as well, to show that employees, you know, matter to the business, and also this was very good at pulling in people to the larger piece of content because they saw their friends creating the videos. They wanted to create a little bit of a buzz around it, make sure people were seeing each other talking about health. Oh, did you see such and such in the video? You know, just trying to create a buzz. Social media is about creating hype, and this did it very well.
If we are going to achieve our incident-free ambition, each one of us needs to follow
For me, safety-free. For me, sorry.
For me, incident-free is making sure that everyone that comes on this risk,
if we are going to be incident-free, all of us have to take responsibility. Being offshore. Sorry. And then it's the final farewell from the OIM and the ESG.
To me, incident-free means working well as a team.
So yeah, a great example. It created a lot of buzz. They shared it on YouTube, had fantastic results. Lots of people went out and watched it, from the employees to, you know, the wider audiences, and it got everyone coming back to their website, coming back to the health and safety teams, wanting to get involved in health and safety, wanting to stand up and be listened, wanting to nominate themselves for future pieces of content. Yeah, it was just really good to show the team working together and changing the culture of the business. So yeah, a very good way of doing it, and also yeah, it was really fun. This was something that we did again with Amazon last year. External threats are a very key thing to make sure that social media is portraying. It's not just at work that we need to make sure that our employees are safe. It's actually at home and away. We need to make sure that when they're traveling outside of work, they get to work safely, but also making sure that global threats aren't keeping their lives at risk. So this was something that we did with Amazon. It was a selection of films. This was the travel security advert that we released across social media and internal channels to create hype. There were 6 videos in total, all focusing on different countries, religions, and cultures. And this was to pull them in and make sure that Amazon was seen to be doing something totally different. So yeah, again, social media was used to promote them as a business, promote what they do in health and safety, and get the employees saying, yeah, I work at a fantastic business. And Amazon continued to do that worldwide. And occupational safety and health doesn't always have to be serious. Amazon merely wanted to make sure that staff thought about external threats and different cultures when traveling to work.
Nice to see you.
So that video alone had over 200,000 hits on social media in the first few days, and continues to have a great success. And the internal culture is definitely improving, and people are thinking about how to interact globally a lot better. So, you know, we looked at content, we've looked at how to do it, what types of content to post, keeping it short, making sure that we have a breadcrumb approach and how we move everything back to the major pieces of content. Social media is a portal of information, and it must be engaging, it must be fun to look at, so it must be something that is a snippet that takes you somewhere else. And all of this fundamentally gets you page metrics. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter has all of these different metrics that basically is the hidden data and statistics that give you the insight into your social media marketing performance. While social media marketing metrics are universal, there's also a platform-specific metric that you need to learn as well. But some data is calculated differently depending on the platform and social media metric tools that you're using. Facebook, for example, page likes, how many people like your page, how many people are coming to it. You know, you should technically have as many page likes as you have employees within your business. They should all be following you. They should all be listening to the information you give them, and they should all be liking your posts. You know, the reach that you need is your employees, it's your workforce. They have these devices in their hands every day. I'm sure they use them at work, which you don't want them to do, but they still need to be able to go on your social media and find out the information they need. It's easy, it's right there. And the engagement, you know, it's how many people are, you know, are unique, and that people that are engaged, clicked like, commented and shared your posts. All your employees should be sharing posts, should be liking posts, should be, you know, getting involved with the posts that are going on. So yeah, it's a very, very good way of measuring the impressions that you're getting. The LinkedIn, they have demographics as well, so you can actually see what job titles are working best, and you can actually see which areas of the business are listening to you the most. But also, one thing that you can do as well that has social media advertising. Organic content across all social media took a huge decline in engagement last year. Facebook saw a drop of 20% in its posts on business pages. So paid advertising can improve and be a vital component within any social media campaign, as well as allowing the page to get in front of the targeted audience. It's not just, when paid advertising, it's not just about trying to sell your product. It's not just about trying to sell what you do to a potential client. It's also trying to sell it to your employees. You can target people that work at your business. Most people will have, Facebook have a lot of data, and a lot of people that are on Facebook will have where they work. So you can target posts specifically to the people that work at your business. So if you're trying to share occupational safety and health issues, you know, from your organization, use Facebook, use LinkedIn, use Twitter, use the data that they have hopefully good data, and it's not trying to steal our information, but share the information you need using the platforms that are so successful across the world. Page metrics that we use, this is something that we did for ExxonMobil in Guyana. We did their Facebook page. They wanted to publish lots of information specifically about a project to the general public, but also to their workforces. The workforce was going to be mainly local people, so we needed to make sure we got information to them quickly and efficiently. And as you can see, this is the background analytics from a page. You can see published date, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, every day, post titles, what's making people stop and listen, the type of content you're posting, so whether it's a video or a still graphic, what's working best so you can redo it. Targeting, whether it's worldwide or the demographic I just discussed, targeting people that work within a country, within one business. And then how much reach, how many people actually saw the post. Do I need to boost it? Do I need to have paid advertising? And what was the engagement like? Who clicked on it? And how many people came back to my website to find out more information? What advertising you use is totally specific on your business, and it's all about finding out what works best for you. I probably have to do about 6 or 7 webinars to tell you about every single piece of social media that could be possible. Every single social media platform has very helpful people that can work for businesses to tell you more information. We have representatives from LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram that are in constant communications with me about our content, how to get it out there, how to make it better. So they are account managers for your business. Use them, get all the information you need out of them, but also make sure that the content you give is vital. So that's where we come in, and that's why we help businesses make sure that the content that they post is engaging, effective, and that hopefully these statistics will go up and up and up. You can see that, it was quite obvious out of that one snapshot of a page that there was one piece of information that gave over 310,000 people, 93 for another one, and there was a few that were lacking, so obviously we changed. So yes, that's kind of hopefully giving you a bit of information about what type of content you need to use, how to use it effectively, what it looks like, what platforms are out there and available to you, what metrics can be taken. Yeah, social media is a fantastic tool for communications, not externally, but internally. Employees have these phones in their pockets. Use it to your advantage. Make sure that you take advantage of them, checking it every day, and make sure you stand up and tell everyone how fantastic your business is. Because if you do, everyone comes to you, employees stay, and everyone's happy and hopefully healthy. So yeah, hopefully you can email some questions through. And yeah, hopefully I can take it from there.
Matthew, thank you very much for your presentation. So now you've got the opportunity to post any questions you may have for Matthew. And before I forward your questions to Matthew, I will launch a poll, as your feedback on our webinars is very vital. So please answer the 4 questions on this poll while we run through the questions. Okay, so that's coming over to you now. Matthew, with regards to the videos that you showed, is there an opportunity for people to view them separately? Because I think there was just a slight issue with the sound. So I was just wondering whether we'd be able to, I don't know, post a URL or something for people to view them, in their own time.
Absolutely, yeah, that's not a problem. I can share URLs and links to the videos, and please do email me through any other requests. The amount of content we make every day and every year is fantastic, and there's lots of health and safety examples that we can show you, and hopefully give you some inspiration about how to create new content, share it. So yeah, please do email me directly, or after this I will share the links that were actually in the video, in the presentation, sorry.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that, Matthew. Right, I've got a few questions coming through. So first one is, I'm a small business, just one woman, so don't have a lot of funds. What's the best way to promote my business, which is producing health and safety files, O&M manuals without boring people? So it's making content that some people may find boring and making that into something that's really interesting content.
I think, as I said, sort of about halfway through the webinar, there was it's people scrolling down very quickly. So whenever I'm using social media, I scroll through things quite quickly until I see something, an image that is captivating or engaging, and I stop and I read what that is. So I know you might not have big budgets, but it's making sure that the content you have is spot on. So it could just be a good image that goes, "What's that? I want to find out a bit more." But also the 411 rule. Your topics might not be over exciting. So maybe the things that you share of other people's, or things that you think are relevant to your industry, those things are probably the two pieces that you need to focus on lots. And if not, it might not be 411. You might want to go 444. If the information you feel that you share about your business can sometimes be not the most exciting bit, maybe try and find some content that people go, I just want to follow this company because they actually bring me industry leading pieces of information and really fun things to look through that will benefit me as a business.
Okay, thank you. So we have another question. Doesn't issuing information to employees using this method massively rely on you, on your employees following you on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter? How do we keep track of who does and doesn't follow? Do we need to have mopping up sessions? So I think that's more about getting employees more involved and how you measure that as well.
Yeah, I think that's you communicating with them internally about the platforms that you use, making sure that they understand fully that the information you're releasing is important to them, but also, as I said, trying to be that one source of information that is not just about maybe boring internal topics. It's actually about content that's external, making sure that they're informed about mental health issues, making sure they're informed about global threats, external threats to them. So they see you as a platform that's worth following. So yeah, please do communicate it internally at team meetings, making sure all the health and safety managers are really pushing it, maybe creating very simple kind of business cards that have all your links to, please follow us at Twitter, please follow us at Instagram, please follow us at Facebook, LinkedIn, making sure that the employees have all that information at hand, making sure that you maybe share it on your email footers, making sure, I think it's just pushing it out there, making sure that everyone knows about it, and then if the content's engaging, they'll all follow. So, and if not, you can do paid advertising, as I said, to target specific people that work at specific companies. So you might even be able to force information in front of them a bit further.
Okay, thank you. Quite a big question here. Someone wants to know how they can access Facebook and Twitter metrics.
So is that for a business, they come fundamental to the page. So when you set up a Facebook page, when you set up a Twitter page, when you set up any social media platform, you will have background analytics. There's normally someone nominated who can see those, whether it's a marketing manager, a health and safety manager, depending on the content. They can log in and see which posts are most successful. So everyone gets background analytics. So yeah, you'll get them, and when you sign up to the platform, they're very clear. They take you through how to use them successfully. And as I said, there's account managers that work at every platform that can help you understand them to the best of your ability.
Okay. So another question we'll move on to, is there any further recommended reading or information you would advise as useful to build on from this webinar going forward?
Yes, I think social media is such a popular platform. There are lots and lots of really good whether it's specific books or online portals that you can read. As I said, all of the platforms have fantastic information about all of them. Every business is very different. Facebook doesn't just have the profiles themselves. They have websites and more information that you can read on them. I would recommend going to read all of the different platforms about them all. But then also there are lots of fantastic social media platforms, which I can email afterwards as well about. I can't remember more off the top of my head, but there's some good forums out there that discuss them and talk about benefits and talk about the positives and negatives about each one.
Okay, thank you. So next question. I'm just starting out as a HSC consultant with 2 full-time customers. What's your top tip for expanding my business using social media platforms?
Sorry, just repeat that last bit again. So I broke off.
Okay, what's your top tip for expanding my business using social media platforms?
Lots of content. I think one of the key things, and businesses fall foul to it all the time, is not having repetitive content going out there. I think one thing, whenever you look at any sort of popular social media, whether it's an individual or a business, one thing they do very, very well is repetitive posting. You might be able to create something that is, I don't know, the top 10 of something that's within your business. So people are finding out information, come back every week to find out the top 10 about this. Come back every week to find out the most important topics to think about within this area of your business. Come back next week to find out, you're trying to make sure people come back to your pages to find out information that's important. There's lots of sporadic content that you can create as well. So what's going on at your business, where you're going to be, what events you're attending so people can come and meet you face to face. If you're doing any talks somewhere, to grow your business, you need to be out there and meeting the masses. And people want to see you as someone that gives you lots of information regularly. So using social media to promote that fact and the fact that you're out there all the time and they have the opportunity to meet you. I think that's very good ways of using social media. But also other ways to grow your business using social media might be, I'm not sure, maybe using it as a portal for people to get in touch with you and propose questions. So you can use it in lots of different ways, but it needs to be short and sharp.
Okay. Have you heard of Yammer, Matthew?
I have heard of Yammer. I've never done anything with it, unfortunately, but I do know of it.
Okay, because our networks tend to use Yammer, so they were just wondering on your views on that as well. But if you're not in a position to answer that,
I don't know much about it, unfortunately. I know people use it, but I'm not a huge Yammer knowledge person, so I'd have to find out more and tell you.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So are there any ways you can recommend to gain more relevant followers on Twitter or Facebook?
Twitter and Facebook, to gain more followers, I'd say share more people's content. It's not just about your content. It's being seen as someone that reposts, retweets, and shares information. Going back to the 4-1-1 rule, 4 pieces of your own content and 1 being a share, or it's almost like you're partnering on social media with organizations that suit your business. So to get more followers on Twitter, a lot of people would just retweet information that has some sort of synergy with their business. Obviously, don't just be retweeting random pieces of information. So make sure that you are seen as someone that you're not selfish, you're not posting your own information. You want to be seen as someone that is going to retweet or reshare posts, because every time you retweet or you reshare someone's post, you're expanding your reach and expanding the audience that sees your tweet or your post. Because I might have 5,000 followers on, say, Facebook or social media, any social media platform. If I post to my followers, those 5,000 people see it. If one of my followers then shares it, all of their followers then see my post as well. So if you're doing a good deed for lots of people, they will hopefully do a good deed for you. And that way you can expand the audience that sees your posts.
Okay. Interesting question here. What's the best safety campaign that you have seen on social media and why?
Tricky one. I'd have to pick, I mean, the topics are more kind of where things fall in. I think the most important topic for me at the moment is external issues that face our employees. I've seen lots and lots of really good ones around mental health, Thames Water being one of them. I've seen lots of really good things around things that are affecting our employees. So yeah, I think if you can help your employees' well-being, it will shoot up your social media presence straight away and make your employees feel loved. But yeah, I think I say mental health has been some of the most engaging. Some of the images on there are very moving. Some of the content and the way people are doing, helping and supporting people with mental health issues is fantastic. Just having a simple app that asks you how you're feeling every day can be so successful. It's like the one I showed you for Lane's group. They are pioneering the mental health aspects within their business. When everyone turns up to work every day, there's an app that asks them how they're feeling. So, if you come to work feeling a little bit sad, but you go home feeling a lot happier, that's done you the world. The business is doing a world of good, but they don't just stop there. They'll actually ask you why. You're not feeling good when you come to work and try and address those issues as well. So something as simple as an app that just has 5 different face emojis and you have to pick one that's just the most applicable to how you're feeling right now, and then them analyzing it. I thought that was a fantastic thing. So yeah, I think it doesn't have to be complicated, but I think mental health for me at the moment is one of the most important things that we must address as a business to anyone's employees.
Okay, thank you. What's the best social media platform to build your own brand on when you're looking at consultancy, podcasts and articles?
That's a good question.
Would you think LinkedIn is probably a good one?
But podcasts for audio. Then obviously you've got YouTube, which is a fantastic way of building a library of footage that is really easy to access. So if you've got a lot of podcasts or visible content, or obviously podcasts are only audio, but YouTube is a great platform because it's more of a channel than it is a page. So if you want to have lots of podcasts that people can refer to really quickly and easily, I'd say YouTube is a fantastic platform for that, and people can leave comments, people can share YouTube links on other social media platforms very easily. So I'd probably use YouTube as my most sort of successful. We do a lot of podcasts for organizations around health and safety. We did a 2-year series for BT. We've done stuff for Network Rail. We've done stuff for ExxonMobil around health and safety. And yeah, a lot of it is shared on internal LMSs, but YouTube is another very good portal that you can share things across very quickly.
Okay. I'm going to have one more question. So what happens if you do receive a negative comment or a very opinionated comment on one of your social media posts?
Yeah, I mean, the thing I was kind of focusing on earlier was about making sure everything you post is positive. So as long as we try and make sure everything is positive and make sure everything is about something that's helping people, that's a way of avoiding it. But if someone does maybe have a negative experience about something, or maybe someone does feel that they have to leave a negative comment, then there's different ways that you can deal with it. Sometimes some of the simplest ways are ignoring it, because you don't want to start a comment like rampage of lots of, back and forth, get more and more people involved, more and more people will have their 2 cents worth. So sometimes ignoring it is a very good thing, because everyone has got the freedom of speech. Everyone's allowed to post a comment on there. If someone does post a negative comment and lots of people start commenting back on it and it starts going out of control, you do have the power to delete that. That is something that you can remove. And again, Facebook will be very good at informing you, or not just Facebook, but LinkedIn, all the social media platforms will have a very good legal team that can sort of help you with the more fundamental legal issues. But I'd say ignore it or delete it, just because it's not worth the hassle of going into an absolute, something spiraling out of control. So yeah, I would just, I'd most of the time ignore it or delete it.
Okay, so we've had a good round of questions there. Thank you all.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at ending the session, but before I do, I just want to thank you, Matthew, and for all of those who've joined us today for this webinar. Matthew, if you can move forward onto the CPD slide, thank you very much. We just want to reflect on your CPD here. Please use this slide as a way for you to take points into account, such as what did you learn that was new, and what will you be doing with the knowledge you've gained from this webinar, and how will the skills you've learned be applied to the way that you work. There are further points here you can use to reflect on, which I hope you find helpful. So we will be sending out the link to this presentation recording, and that will be to the email address that you have registered with. So please look out for this email. And we're going to be finishing off here. So thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you all. And
thank you very much.
We'll hopefully see you soon, another webinar. Thank you.